streetlights on my route home have always been a source of comfort. Their warm, orange glow pushes back the shadows, making the familiar path feel safe, predictable. But for the past 3 weeks, that comfort has been shattered by a single, unnerving presence. An old man standing at the edge of my street, just where it meets the main road. The first time I saw him, I didn't think much of it. It was late, past midnight, and I was driving home from a friend's house. He was just a silhouette, tall and gaunt, leaning slightly on what looked like a cane. His posture was rigid, his head tilted, as if listening to something I couldn't hear. I slowed down, my headlights washing over him. He wore a dark, old-fashioned suit, the kind you see in black and white photos. His face was a canvas of deep wrinkles, his eyes hidden in shadow. He didn't move a muscle as I passed. I had just chalked it up to an elderly person out for a late-night stroll, maybe a bit confused. I didn't give it a second thought. The next night, he was there again. Same spot, same suit, same unnerving stillness. This time, a little prickle of unease ran down my spine. It was just odd. Why would someone stand in the exact same spot at the exact same time 2 nights in a row? I looked in my rearview mirror after I passed. He hadn't turned to watch me go. He just stood there, a statue carved from twilight and dread. By the 4th night, the unease had blossomed into genuine fear. I started taking a slightly different route home, adding 10 minutes to my drive just to avoid that corner. But curiosity is a powerful, dangerous thing. After a week of detours, I told myself I was being ridiculous. I was letting my imagination get the better of me. So, I took my usual route. My heart hammered against my ribs as I approached the intersection. The street was empty. A wave of relief washed over me, so potent it made me feel lightheaded. I laughed at myself, at my foolish, childish fears. And then, as my headlights swung onto my street, I saw him. He wasn't on the corner anymore. He was 10 feet further down. It's 10 feet closer to my house. My blood ran cold. This wasn't a coincidence. This was a progression. I floored the gas pedal, my tires squealing as I raced down the street, not daring to look in my mirror until my car was safely in the garage and the door was rattling shut behind me. I ran inside, locking and bolting every door and window, my hands shaking so badly I could barely fit the key in the lock. That night, sleep was impossible. Every creak of the house, every rustle of leaves outside my window sent a jolt of pure terror through me. Was he outside? Was he watching my house? The thought was paralyzing. Thawing week was a blur of caffeine-fueled anxiety. I left for work before sunrise and didn't even come home until I was sure he would be there, only to find him standing a little further down the street each night. 20 feet, 30 feet. It was like he was measuring the distance to my front door in agonizing, deliberate steps. I tried to tell people. I told my friend Mark, who just laughed it off. It's probably just some lonely old guy, he said. Maybe he's waiting for a bus that doesn't run at night anymore. I called the non-emergency police line, feeling like a complete idiot. They sent a patrol car to the area, but of course, by the time they arrived, he was gone. They told me there was no law against standing on a public sidewalk. They advised me to just ignore him. Ignore him? How could I ignore him? He was a phantom, haunting my daily life, turning my home from a sanctuary into a prison. I started seeing him in my dreams. In the dreams, he was always at my front door, his hand raised to knock. But instead of knuckles, his fingers were long and thin, like the legs of a spider. And they would scratch, scratch, scratch against the wood. I'd always wake up in a cold sweat, the sound of scratching echoing in my ears. Last night was the worst. I had to work late, a project that couldn't be postponed. I drove home, my knuckles white on the steering wheel, my eyes scanning the darkness with frantic energy. The street was empty. Every house was dark, the whole neighborhood asleep. I felt a sliver of hope. Maybe, just maybe, he was gone for good. I pulled into my driveway, the engine's hum sounding deafeningly loud in the silence. As the automatic garage door began its slow, grinding ascent, my headlights illuminated the back wall, and my heart stopped. Scrawled across the wall, in what looked like mud or dirt, were words. "I can see you." Panic seized me. I slammed the car into reverse, the tires screaming as I backed out of the driveway and sped away. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't be there. I looked in my rearview mirror, my breath catching in my throat. He was there, standing directly in front of my house. Under the gentle glow of my porch light, I could see his face clearly for the first time. It wasn't just wrinkled. It was gaunt, stretched tight over his skull, like old parchment. But his eyes, they weren't hidden in shadow anymore. They were wide, impossibly wide, and they were staring right at me, and he was smiling. A wide, lipless grin that stretched from ear to ear, a horrifying slash of darkness in his pale face. He raised one hand, not in a wave, but with his palm open, as if to say, "Stop, come back. I'm at a 24-hour diner now, miles away from my home. I haven't stopped shaking, okay? The sun is coming up, but it brings me no comfort. Daylight won't make him disappear. I know this now. He isn't just some strange old man. He's something else, something that waits, something that watches, something that gets closer and closer every single night. I can't go back to my house. But where can I go? He knows where I live. He's seen my car. He's seen me." That horrifying smile is burned into my mind. He wasn't just standing on the street. He was hunting. And he was patient. He knew, sooner or later, I would have to come home. The question that's screaming in my mind, the one that I can't escape, is what happens when he finally reaches my door? What happens when I hear that scratching? Not in a dream, but for real. I don't think he wants to knock. I think he wants to be let in, okay? And I'm terrified that one day he'll find a way. Thank you so much for listening to my story. It means a lot to share this. If you found yourself on the edge of your seat, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more tales from the shadows. Stay safe out there, and always be aware of who or what be waiting at the edge of your street.